Hello everyone, this is Moon. Um, Finally got a chance to make some videos. I have a really busy life, but honestly, I really love making YouTube videos and I love making content. And it's been a while. I haven't been really active. I went to New York for a week, and um, just life is so busy and so much going on. And but I'm trying my best to make content and. So in this video, my plan is to actually talk about automation with using Python, and I'm gonna share my screen, and I want to talk about this because automation is a very good tool, and also I will a little bit talk about like how to get started on coding in with Python, and also like a little bit of SQL, and you guys will just have to do the rest of the work, like kind of practice and everything. So let's get started. So now you might be wondering, like, okay, automation is basically like you can automate tasks and projects that are that kind of waste your time and you don't want to do them. Do you let the computer do it for you, the Python do it for you? So gonna move this, and so the other day I was just trying to find out what's the easiest examples I can use, because let's just say in an interview they're asking you like, hey, give us an example of Python, right? Automation. And you if you say, hey, I don't know, then it's just not gonna it's just not gonna work. You gotta tell them, give them a bunch of examples, and you can also practice. So let's see. So I will leave this website in the description. Geeks for Geeks, Python automation. So this is a good article to get started on, because that's what I used. Automation tutorial. Why is automation important? Read that. Where is automation required? And you might think like, hey, you know what? I don't want to do this, right? I don't want to learn automation, but trust me, automation engineers make a lot of money. I have a buddy that, he's a software developer or programmer, but yeah, he does automation using C#, and I asked him like a little bit of examples, but he didn't really help me. But because that's just what it is, man. These days, like, in my experience, nobody really wants to help you. And I mean, the good thing about this internet, right? I mean, websites, resources that are available online on the computer, they're so good. You never have to rely on anyone. And there's so many good teachers out there that are willing to help you. So I think that so blessed to have internet and being able to search things. And so Python, read through this, and then let's go through. So there's request library, beautiful soup, pandas. These are different libraries that help you, I would say, get the data or run your code. Like, you can do data scraping using Beautiful Soup. Like, automation using Beautiful Soup is typically used for web scraping tasks. Beautiful Soup is a Python library that makes it easy to extract data from HTML or XML documents. We can use Beautiful Soup methods to extract specific elements from the HTML document. HTML is the hypertext markup language, like the websites and stuff. That's the programming language you use to make websites. So step, research the Python libraries. So you can always Google what library you need and write the code. test the code after you've completed writing part. Test your code on different instances and variation. Update the code. Gonna turn the light, is too bright. So this is one of the Python automation example. Let's look at one simple example. In this example, we're looking at the task creating a file and writing text in it. So file name, and so you have to read this whole code, okay? And you can, copy it. So let's run the code here because they have an option where you can run the code. Okay, it's giving an error. So you're gonna have to do a lot of research online to kind of figure that out. But you can also go on GitHub, but you can look, there's API automation, robotic process automation. So lots of useful projects here. Okay, now I'm gonna actually run the Microsoft Visual Studio Code because I do have an example. I renamed the folder Nonsense Python. Yeah, because especially if you haven't been to school or done a boot camp, trust me, learning coding and it's very difficult. It's very complicated. You have to be super smart. Yeah, it's just not easy stuff, but I encourage everyone to learn it. You gotta learn. It's good. Software engineers, developers make a lot of money. And please, honestly, don't listen to anyone who is saying, hey, there's AI's taking their job. No, it's not. I highly recommend it. Give it a try. Learn it day by day. Learn a little bit. Divide it. Divide the task. Divide your lessons. No need to rush it, because that's how you will achieve this goal. So let's go to the terminal. So this is how Microsoft Visual Studio Code looks like. If you're not familiar, I think I will just have to make another video on how to get started on it. But it's installed on my computer. Well, first let's see if we can even run the code if it works. I will also leave this code in the description just so you can practice the code. Okay, so now you can probably see my cursor. It says the title of the page is Google. So what this does is it tells you the title page of the website, title of the page of any website. So you can see the code is import requests, right? So you have to use the request library to get the data, and where we can here we can read this to automation using the request library in Python. Is typically used for making HTTP request to interact with web services, APIs, or websites programmatically. You can send various types of HTTP requests, such as GET, POST, PUT, DELETE, etc. Once you send a request, you can handle the response, which includes the status codes, headers, and content. Okay, so definition of request, but that's what you're using. Import request from BS4 import beautiful. So you can copy the code and first install the libraries, and how you can install any libraries. You use pip install request. So I already have it, but that's how you install it. So let's see what it's gonna say. Okay, so we got an error. So let's see pip install. Okay, it's giving me an error. I already have it installed, but what I'll do is try to install a different library. Let's see if I can install pandas. So I'm getting an error installing the library. Okay, I have to look at that later, but anyway, um, that's what happens when you with coding. Yeah, sometimes you run into errors, and the computer language is so complicated, you'll have to Google, and sometimes you'll get frustrated with it. I mean, because there's so many videos, you can probably see, like, people get frustrated. um, but anyway, yeah, but that's how you install. I'm gonna try to see if I can. So I'm also wondering why it's not. Okay, so now you can see like how it's installing, because I just copied and pasted it, and most of the time that's what I think programmers do. I think my friend told me, yeah, they use like ChatGPT and stuff like all the time, because of course not everyone knows the code, and sometimes they can get some help, but you definitely have to practice. Just go slow, at your own pace. I'm gonna let this install. So it's a good example on how to install libraries. So let's see. So while this gets installed, def is the function. You also have to learn like what functions are. Basic underscore scraper URL. So basically, it also gives you a description of what it does. Fetches a web page and extracts its title. So you can always have like this code copied, and if you ever want to use it, try is a function where finds errors and stuff. So you can read the code. Send an HTTP GET request to get the URL. So you probably saw in that Geeks for Geeks, where it's talking about to get the request will let you get the, so you can see such as get, right? You can send various HTTP requests. Response equals request dot get URL, response dot raise for status. Parse the HTML content using beautiful soup. Soup equals beautiful soup. Response.text HTML.parser. Extract the title of the page. Title underscore tag. Soup.find title. If is a function. Title underscore tag. Return the title underscore tag dot text strip. Else. So these are functions, and if not, then return title not find. So you do have to learn what functions are. Very super important, as you can see. Basics, that's what the basic is about Python, is functions, right? You need to learn the functions, if statements, while, loops. You have to understand those concepts and what they do, and then input output. You have to again, for me, W3 Schools is a really good, it's not a sponsor or anything. It works for me. I don't care. And then there's an if function, if name. There's also these kind of functions that you have to understand what they are, and then target underscore URL. And this is what I did, is I entered this website google.com, right? And you can change, let's just say Hotmail, right? Run and you can have this code copied, and whenever you need to use it, look, so the Hotmail, right? And then it says here in the terminal, the title of the page is Outlook. So that's the example. And I'm going to copy and paste the code. So in an interview, if you get this, you can say, hey, you know what? I give them just this example, and there's a bunch of other examples. Also try it. For examples, you can tell them, but it's also very good that you tell them, that the code, you understand it, so you do have to put in the work. But I've showed you guys one example. So I will leave this link in the description. You guys saw how I installed the library. So that's also another one, Zapier Python automation. So you can just use this. Okay, I will also leave this one in there too. Python automation, 9 scripts to automate critical workflows. So here's the thing, read this through because it has all the codes in there, so you gotta use the codes. And I will make actually another video about SQL projects, because in an interview if they ask you about SQL, so you can actually give them some real life examples like joins and stuff like that. But that's, I'm showing you guys like there's a bunch of examples, so go through them. These 2 links at least should get you started, and you saw how everything goes, what automation is, and there's more to come. I'm gonna also keep searching some good videos that can help, but for right now, that's it. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and support me. I really appreciate it. Thank you, and take care. Have a good day. Bye bye.